Hi guys, I wanted to do just a little bit of a lesson on some pronouns. So this week and a little bit last week, you guys had done some Khan Academy on pronouns, and so I just wanted to map some things out to you. So we started with subject and object pronouns. So basically there are 7 subject pronouns, and I'm going to list them here. So you've got the word I, which refers to a person. So remember, a pronoun takes the place of a noun. So the word I would take the place of my name so that I didn't have to say my own name when I'm referring to myself. Remember, the word I is always a capital letter, always, no matter what. So I, he, she, we, they, and then you and it. All right, so basically subject pronouns are pronouns that only get used in the subject of a sentence, which is why they're called subject pronouns. So only used in the subject of the sentence. So object pronouns, honestly, I wish they were named something else, because if subject pronouns are only used in the subject of the sentence, I'll bet you can figure out where object pronouns can only be used. If they can't be used in the subject, they have to be used in the, predicate. So I actually wish that these were called predicate pronouns, but they're not. They're called object pronouns. So object pronouns are only used in the predicate. Okay, so there are also 7 object pronouns, just like there are 7 subject pronouns, and there's kind of an alter ego for each, well, for most of them. So let's start with the word I. So I is always used as a subject pronoun, but there's another word that is a pronoun that is very similar to the word I. If I'm referring to myself without being a possessive pronoun, so we don't want my or mine or myself right now, those are possessive pronouns. The alter ego of the pronoun I is actually the word me. He also has an alter ego. Instead of he, it would be him. She, it would be her. We, a group of people, instead of we, it would be us. And they, the alter ego of that would be them. Now the interesting thing is that the words you and it, they're on both of the lists. So you and it, they can be used anywhere in a sentence. It really doesn't matter. All right, so I want to take this just a little step further and give you some examples. So I want to use some sentences. So if I were to give you a sentence with a couple of choices, like choosing between I and me. Okay, so you can see that I wrote a sentence here, and it's either I went to sleep or me went to sleep. Now, this seems kind of silly to you right now. This is going to be very easy because you can hear which is the correct word and which is not. So if I were to ask you, gee, what's the correct answer here for this pronoun? Every single one of you is going to say, it's the word I went to sleep. Now, I know that you know that. However, if someone at home were to ask you, why is it the word I? And let's say that you were not allowed to give them the answer as, well, because that's the only one that makes sense here. Me went to sleep doesn't make sense. Okay, can't use that as an answer. So you'd have to think up a different reason. Why, grammatically, why is it the word I? Now remember about where the word I is, on what side, and what that means. So the word I, remember, can only be used in the subject of the sentence. So now you're probably thinking, oh, I could probably tell them this reason. Now, remember where the slash mark goes. Taught you this a long time ago. I know that you know where to put the slash mark in this sentence. I went to sleep. You would separate your subject from your predicate right here. So you've got your subject on this side of the line and your predicate on that side of the line. Now, why must it be the word I in this sentence? If you needed to sound really super intelligent about grammar, you would say the correct pronoun is the word I, because I is the subject of the sentence, and me can never be used in the subject of the sentence. Okay, so here's another example. Okay, Bob played cards with, now you have the same two choices. So you have I and you have me. So, using what we did before, Bob played cards with, I know you know what the answer is. Again, this is pretty obvious. However, think about if you were explaining this to a younger sibling and what you would tell them about what the reasons were. You would want to use your grammar sense to be able to explain it in an intelligent way instead of just saying, Bob played cards with I. That word doesn't make any sense, which is true. It doesn't sound correct. But if you're going to explain it in a grammatical way, you would say, I know that the answer is me because when I put the slash mark in the sentence to separate the subject from the predicate, the pronoun right now is in the predicate part of the sentence. Therefore, I have to choose the predicate pronoun, not the subject pronoun. So, Bob played cards with me would be the correct answer. Okay, so that's just a little mini lesson. I would like to take that a step further tomorrow and do another one. I really like working with pronouns, and it might sound really easy right now, which is great, but it can get a little trickier. So I want to show you some places where many people make a critical mistake. So I will plan on doing that on a different day. Thanks for watching.